Welcome back to the 5th round, where we're going to be previewing UFC Ottawa and in particular Iaquinta versus Cowboy Cerrone. Now this is a fight I am particularly excited for. This card isn't the best card of the year. It's got the likes of Macy Chiasson, who's fighting in the prelims. Now she was the Ultimate Fighter Season 28 winner. And we've also got the likes of Derek Brunson, Elias Theodorou, and we've got Cub Swanson against Shane Burgos. But we're going to be looking at the lightweight main event, because it could have some big indicators on what happens next in that division, which is already stacked. We've got the likes of Conor McGregor waiting to come back. We've got the likes of Tony Ferguson looking to come back, and we've got Khabib suspended with a fight against Daniel Poirier, who's now interim champion. Maybe Max in the future as well, in the next year or so, looks to come up. Justin Gaethje too, and it's a really stacked division to the point where someone like Kevin Ferguson has had to move up a division and look for a fight at 170. Similarly, like how Cowboy Cerrone did previously, but Cowboy's come back down to 155 and has had a stormer in the division, especially after since the birth of his son. He is undefeated with 2 wins. Now to go to their rankings, we've got number 4 versus number 8, and Iaquinta had a title fight last year, so he's definitely inside the title picture. Should he win this fight, and should Cowboy win it, he has to have claim to a top fight, maybe against the winner of Khabib and Dustin Poirier, maybe a Conor fight, maybe even a Tony Ferguson fight. Now the real estate agent has a record of 14 wins and 4 losses and 1 draw. Cerrone, who has 35 wins, 11 losses and 1 no contest. Now Iaquinta has won 5 out of the last 6 fights that he's taken in the UFC Lightweight division, and of course the only loss in that is Khabib Nurmagomedov, where he replaced Tony Ferguson and Max Holloway, who both had to pull out of the main event in UFC 223. Of course that was a bus incident, but Iaquinta, although he lost the fight, won the respect of many inside the UFC and pulled himself up the rankings considerably and made himself a big name. To take a fight on 2 days notice, I think it was. He prepared for a 3-round fight. He went 5 rounds with Khabib Nurmagomedov. Conor McGregor didn't do that. Many haven't done that. And to go at that distance with the undefeated champ, the undefeated Russian, who's, he takes you down and he doesn't make it easy. But Iaquinta, defeated but not humbled, and very much earned the respect of many of the UFC fans, who I think, if I'm right, going into the fight, he was number 10 in the rankings. Since then he's beaten the likes of Kevin Lee, and he's got a fight against Cerrone, and it's going to be a top fight. Both of these have very similar statistics in striking. Grappling does edge towards Cowboy Cerrone, however. Now moving on to Cerrone, he's won 3 of his last 5 fights, with losses against 2 Englishmen in Leon Edwards and Darren Till, in the division where he was not too small, but he wasn't suited. He's suited to a 155-pound division at the moment, but you'd have to say he would be perfect for a 165-pound division should it come in. But Dana White has said there's never going to be a 165-pound division. Now Cowboy does have a bit of an advantage in height, with 3 inches above Iaquinta, who sits at 5'10". He also has a 3-inch advantage in reach and a 0.5 inch in leg reach. So Iaquinta's going to have to use his boxing. He doesn't use takedowns. That's Cowboy's game. So it's going to be a boxing fight, really. Now, of course, I believe he's taught by Matt Serra, who one knows how to create an upset and one who has a very good jiu-jitsu and very good wrestling. And Iaquinta is going to have to use that boxing and that wrestling, because 50% of his wins have come by KO or TKO. Now, whether he's got to strike him to get him to the floor and then a bit of ground and pound to get the finish, I don't really see Cowboy being taken down. He's got a very good defense, and Iaquinta just doesn't throw that many takedowns. On the other hand, if he does get him down, Cowboy Cerrone's, the majority of his fights have come by submission. So you get him down, you're not in the driving seat really. Cowboy could get a leg hook in, he could get an armbar in, or a heel hook, sorry, not a leg hook, and could get the victory that way. So really, you've given him an advantage both on the ground and in the striking range as well. Now for striking, both have a very similar output, 4.3 versus 4.2 per 15 minutes. Now of course they've got an extra 10 to go through, but both are very much capable of doing so. Similarly, they also absorb almost identical amounts. I think it was 0.01 difference in between Cowboy versus Iaquinta. So they're going to hit a lot, and they're going to get hit a lot. And it's going to be a matter of fact of who goes down first, I believe. And I'm not going to be unhappy with whoever wins it or loses this fight or whatever decision. If it goes 5-round fights, it's going to be a very fun fight. If it doesn't, then, either way, it's going to be fun for the UFC fans. Now, the one thing that does go Iaquinta's way is his defense. He's got a slightly better defense than Cowboy Cerrone. So, although Cowboy strikes a lot more and absorbs just a tad more, or a tad less rather, at 0.01, Iaquinta's got a better defense. So, should he defend some of them strikes and hit a few of his own, he could really hurt Cowboy. But yes, moving on to grappling, DC is a better grappler, and he has a 1.29 takedown advantage per 15 minutes compared to Iaquinta. He also has an accuracy of 35%, which isn't great. It was only slightly higher than Iaquinta's, who averages a lot less at takedowns. Now, for takedown defense, Iaquinta does have a 1% better takedown defense, so neither of them are great at stopping the takedowns. So, should Cowboy get one of those 1.29 extra in, they're going to get it to the floor, and again, the submission advantage does go to Iaquinta. And again, on the ground, 1.4 is the submission average that DC Donald Cowboy Cerrone throws. He throws 1.4 submissions per 15 minutes. So yes, predicting this fight is very difficult. And I can see on Twitter, if you follow at CageChatYT, it's going back and forth between UFC fans and MMA fans between choosing Cowboy as a winner or Iaquinta. Now, I kind of want Cowboy to do it, but I also want to see what Iaquinta can do should he win this and who's next in line. I think both of them have got a very big fight up next. Not discrediting how big a fight this is for them both, but should Cowboy win at 8th in the ranking, he's going to push himself into the top 4 with only really Tony Ferguson, I reckon, and Dustin Poirier ahead of him, and of course the champ. Now, a lot is holding on this Abu Dhabi card should Khabib return then, and a unification bout, because should Dustin Poirier win, that'd be a good matchup for both Iaquinta and Cowboy. Pardon me. But again, if Khabib wins, you could see Iaquinta saying, "I went 5 rounds with him with very, very short notice. Give me a full camp, and I can beat him." And you put that in an MSG that sells out like that. Khabib, Iaquinta's from that area. Khabib is an undefeated champion, and you get the rematch of your dreams, other than probably the Conor rematch. And again, Conor's in the picture here. I don't want to see Conor take a title bout just yet. I think he has to fight his way back into the division against maybe Tony Ferguson. Both of them have been out for a while. Both have wanted each other's fight, and it is a triangle, which is becoming more or less of like a hexagon now, with how many fighters are in that division. Maybe even an octagon. You put them all in there at once, see who comes out on top, and that would be a Grand Prix I'd watch. But yes, I think, does Cowboy's reign as a father, his undefeated streak as a father, come to an end, or does the real estate agent build his legacy and build his house inside that lightweight division, and really get a shout at a title fight or a Conor fight, or even a Tony Ferguson fight? Justin Gaethje, of course, is lurking about this fight, and should he get the winner, I think he'd very much be deserved of the winner of this fight. So, first of all, before I make my prediction, let me know who you think by hitting the I button and voting for Cowboy or Iaquinta. Let me know who you think is going to win this fight, and I am going for a Cowboy victory. I think the Cowboy's going to do it, but I can see Iaquinta pulling this one out of the bag as well, but I'm going to back Cowboy Cerrone. I think he's got the strikes to do it, he's got the ground game to do it, and I think he's going to win via submission. This has been the 5th round UFC Ottawa. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Drop a like. Follow me on CageChatYT on both Instagram and Twitter. And I'll see you on Cage Chat, hopefully on Monday.